Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of a pretty little podcast. I'm Allie Violet Vixen Commissaro, and I'm riding solo tonight because my co-host Jessie is at a gig with her band. I have a question for everybody. Are you ready for a sonic roller coaster with no seatbelt? Well, then crank up the volume, open your mind, and prepare to meet a band that's here to capture your heart and probably your neighbor's attention while they're at it. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Capture This.
Hey, hey
Hey,
guys,
Hello.
how's it going?
good. We're so excited to talk to you tonight. You
Yeah,
guys have had a lot going on recently.
yeah, there's been a lot happening, so we can't wait to share it all. There's been a lot of behind the scenes, music shows, all that fun stuff. So thanks so much for having us.
Oh, our viewers love to hear the little Easter eggs and little things that you don't necessarily share on social media.
Totally.
But let's start with, how did the band form? How did y'all meet?
So we like to just first drop this and say we met on Craigslist, but there's a
Let's
lot.
go.
There is a lot more to that. So yeah, I think me or you, we posted an ad for it on Craigslist looking for a guitarist and actually two guitarists.
I think
Right?
I think
Yeah.
a guitarist and a bassist.
Yeah, guitarist and a bassist. And we did several auditions and we ended up finding our good, our bandmates and stuff like that. So
Well, so
yeah.
we asked Alex. This is Alex.
Yeah.
We asked Alex
Okay, I'll do this hand. Wait, there it is.
yeah.
There
We
it is.
asked Alex if he would be our bassist because we were looking for a bassist, and he's a drummer.
Yeah, I had put out an ad to be a drummer because I was kind of new to the area, and I was like, I've been in bands in the Midwest before, and obviously we're in Denver, so I had no idea what the scene was like out here. And I'm like, it's time. It is time for me to get back into music. And so I blasted like a drum ad out on Craigslist, and I think there was like a little addendum under there, like, oh, maybe like would consider being a rhythm guitarist,
Yeah.
maybe. And so I get an email from Leah. I actually never saw the original like band posting. Um, so I get an email from Leah saying, "Hey, like, would you be open to being a bassist?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I appreciate the offer, but no thanks. Not really my thing.
I think that it was a couple days later.
Yeah, it was a couple days later where I got another email from Leah saying, "What about lead guitar?" I'm like, well, screw it. I'll try out. We'll see. And
Yeah.
a couple weeks later, and they liked me enough.
And now he's our drummer. So it all worked out in the end.
It did.
Yeah.
That's great.
Done a lot of
And
different.
what is the scene like out there? You're in Colorado, right?
Yeah, in Denver. And I would say, I mean, for pop punk, like, I think there's there's such a big scene with like punk and like punk rock. I'm actually from California, and I can say, like, comparing the two, there's definitely more punk scene in Colorado, I think, than even California, which is like one of the music capitals and stuff. But yeah, there's just such a supportive community for punk rock. We have so many friends that are in punk rock bands, so it's just really cool to see that.
You know, I'd say like
Feel
over
free
the
to give
last,
shout outs.
Yeah.
like over the last like 6 months or so, there's been like a stark difference. Like it seems like our scene
Yeah.
is heating up for sure.
Yeah.
Lots more bands coming out of the woodwork, lots more new friends, like the quality of songs and production that people have been putting out has been going up. So it's been a great time to be in the Denver music scene.
Oh, that's so fun. Can you tell me the story behind the name?
Oh boy. So we when we were making the name, I think we all came together and we each had like 10 different
Yeah.
names. And
Do you remember any of the other names?
I
I wish.
I have a list somewhere. It's like this is
It was really weird.
it's like dot star bottom
Dot.
floor.
Yeah.
Let's go.
There's
Bottom floor.
I can't remember
So
any. I
emo.
can't remember any of them.
You
Something-
did good with capture this.
Yeah.
Dot star. But
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
remember whose idea. I think it was Leah's.
Yeah, it was.
I think Capture This was
Yeah,
Leah's.
we each had 10 names. And then we basically just all voted. And I think for us, we just really went off of, okay, like what name sounds the most pop punk? Like, and I think that's like super important too when you're trying to form a band. Like, of course, like finding a name that means something to you, but I think like matching it with the style of music too is like just as important. And that was kind of my goal is like, okay, with all these names, like what sounds the most pop punk? And I think this just really like struck out. Like we all felt it was just like a feeling. Like we all just felt like that was
Plus, it does fit. Like, hey,
Yeah.
capture this moment. Like,
Yeah,
we're
and
in this together
I think
tonight.
and I think that's how we've like tied it in like after having that
Mhm.
name is like
Mhm.
playing on that phrase, like capture this moment, capture the music, like all that. So
Yeah.
Not to
Yeah.
mention all the fun things you can do with it on social media.
totally. Yeah.
And on private on our set list.
There's a lot of cages and birds in the original concept of everything that we just never went with.
Yeah.
I mean, I have fun just making the stories, but I mean, like, I have some, like, real fun things planned for when this airs because
Nice.
I just love it.
I can't
I
wait.
guess our little dino guy, we kind of went off of that too. Capture
Yeah,
the dino.
yeah, true.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
have
That's great.
we have a t-shirt, and it's so cute. It's like a little dino in like a
He's in like a cage.
like a cage
Yeah.
net thing.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs are so popular now. Like, I mean, I've heard so many influencers and bands and just like they all have something with a dinosaur. It's like
It's the go-to.
It
It's what
is.
everyone has.
yeah, and I love to see like how different each person like views dinosaurs. Like some go with like really like doodleish kind of dinosaurs. Some go with like the mighty T-Rex.
Ours is
Ours is just a little guy.
It's just like a little guy with like his little arms.
Just like
yeah,
us, a little guy.
that's what we call him actually. He's just a little guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, how would you describe your overall sound and style?
Oh, that's a great question. That's one for Alex.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
that's
it's
for you
good.
and Alex.
I mean, I'd like to think we're putting a modern twist on like some of the early 2000s, mid like 2010s pop punk.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people nowadays, I mean, they're so nostalgic, even us included. You know, like Warped Tour is coming back, albeit in like a slightly different form, but Warped Tour is coming back. When We Were Young Fest is huge. All these bands
I
are
was
doing.
just
Yeah.
at the Millionaires this
Nice.
weekend.
Nice.
Awesome.
Heck yeah. And so like, you know, we're in that same boat. We still love listening to all our old favorite songs. They never left the playlists. And I think trying to write with that style in mind kind of evokes that sense of nostalgia from all the listeners. And it gets them hooked pretty quick.
But I like what you said too about like modernness, like because I think that is what it is too. Like we're taking that nostalgia early to mid 2000s vibe and like adding our own twist that's like modern and stuff. And I think we see that too, like a lot with some of these newer pop punk bands that are coming out. Like Honey Revenge is one that we really look up to. There's Stan Atlantic, yours truly,
Oh, hey,
Magnolia Park. Rose-colored world. Yeah, like
shout out.
But there's a lot of bands that we look up to that are doing that same thing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, first I'm going to ask you, who would you say influenced you overall as a band? Who would you say your biggest influence was or biggest inspiration?
Well, we all have different ones.
We do. It's funny because like we've been asked this question before and
There's none that you guys like agree on as a band.
No, there's not a single one band, but it's funny because the bands that do influence us are like very similar in style, but it's like there's not one that I think is for all of us. So yeah, I mean, we could answer individually. So, like
I
it's
feel like anytime
yeah.
Yeah,
we
we
play
gotta go with which band would you like want to be stuck in, like on replay in your car?
Okay.
Mayday Parade, hands down.
Yeah, that's yours.
Yeah. Um, that's really hard. I think because also my favorites
Probably, like,
change
Charlotte
like every
Sands.
week. Yeah. Okay. Charlotte Sands.
Charlotte Sands.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or
Oh,
Taylor
Or
Acorn.
Taylor Acorn.
I love it because I started following her about a year ago,
Yeah.
and I just love her vibe.
She's so great. Like the emotion you can hear in her songs is unreal. And she's like, I know Alex is
Okay, so here's it.
we're laughing
Yeah.
because we like cried when we heard one of her songs.
When we do band demo day, when we come here and we demo, we're not allowed to play Charlotte Sands because then these guys will just start crying.
We'll just
and
start
we'll go way
bawling.
off track.
It's bad.
Because it's just so good.
It's just like it hits you
It
like
hits
right
you.
here.
Oh my
man.
god, I love that so much because
But yes,
I
mine would be
always get like really overly emotional and like real hype for people, and they're like, "Are you gonna cry?" And I'm like, "I might." Like, oh well.
yeah.
Yeah, I
there's
went
just
to a Charlotte
something.
Sands show like I mean, a couple months ago now, and like halfway through, I just lost it, and I'm like, I can't. I'm just like, I'm here with everybody, and like we're doing this, it's happening, whatever. Like, let's feel it. What we got to feel, and it was great.
Yeah.
Great time.
Yeah. So mine's definitely Charlotte Sands. What about yours?
I mean, mine would be All Time Low.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Yeah, Mayday Parade.
Nice. Man, you guys really have a variety going on there.
Yeah.
That's probably why your songs are so awesome.
We
Thank you.
try.
Yeah, thanks.
So, this is probably going to differ too. What is your favorite song of yours to perform live?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is good.
Halothane.
I was gonna say Halothane too.
Hologram
Yeah.
Dreams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's just something about it when it
Really?
comes in now. It's like
It's well, so we use it as our like intro to we kick off the whole set with it.
Mhm.
And we do a special intro with it it's different for every venue we play. Like we played a Halloween show and we had a spooky intro. But usually we have like a Halothane themed intro that kind of like plays on all the synth. It has like Leah's like backing vocals like echoing throughout the intro of it, and then it like breaks into the song.
it's so cool.
And like all the lights go and stuff. And I think that's probably why it's my favorite. It's just because it punches people right in the face from the get-go of the whole set.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is a good starter song.
Now,
I
that
think-
was the first song off of your new album, right? That you released?
Yeah, it's one of our new singles that just came out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, before that we released another one called Empty.
Empty. I love that one.
Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite to perform live. And it's really not so much the lyrics. I think it's just like that emotion and the power that I put into that with my vocals, like being able to like scream that or like belt vocally those lines. Like I think
Mhm.
for me is just a really cool moment and stuff. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's mine.
I know we get off too, but like there's definitely other key songs in the longer sets that we play that like have some crowd interaction, and like sometimes people go wild. Like
Yeah.
we get people jumping in same old, like the whole room gets down and everybody's jumping, and then safe bet these guys go out in the crowd with their wireless and they join the mosh pit.
We have to be very careful not to hit people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
those two get the room going. Like there's so much energy in those two songs too, but a little older.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll have to tape some of your mosh pits at your
Halloween
live shows.
Wild.
Yeah, Halloween show.
Yeah.
That was wild.
We just played a show on Halloween, and that was like, we should get some clips and post them because Alex recorded the whole set and stuff. So we have some
got
good
some footage.
some good mosh pits there.
That's awesome. So, how would you say that your band now approaches songwriting? At least with the latest
Mhm.
album.
I I think it's so we came off these couple of singles that we're releasing that will eventually be like an album. We kind of came off the idea that it's less of we're trying to make a cohesive one album, and more of we're going to release the songs that we think are bangers, because
Love it.
like it's harder in these days where to release an album or an EP every year or every like 8 months or something, you kind of like lose interest and stuff. So our thought process was we're going to put an EP together and these singles will eventually be on it, but we kind of just want to release the stuff that we think is the best. Even if it doesn't necessarily all fit together, we'll just kind of make it fit together somehow in the end.
It's a smart way to approach it, because you guys really, I mean, your sound, there's no song that sounds alike. Like, you got your like signature like vibe to it, but they completely take you to a different place.
Yeah. I definitely feel that too. And I think like I think when we're writing too, like it's always there's really no ways the same for every song, which I think is cool about it. Like we just wrote one where it was literally me and Andrew in a room, and like he was just playing something on guitar, I was singing, and we literally
I think we wrote it in 30 seconds.
Like we wrote
It
it.
was a banger.
Everything just like came so naturally. And then we've had songs where it's taken like weeks, if not months, and we're like writing different pieces
like
and
a
putting
bridge over and over and over
and like and like putting it together like in Andrew's computer system and stuff. And then we're like playing it like other pieces like in a practice room. Like it's just like never the same.
And I mean,
but
even sometimes we'll have like bits and pieces hanging out because we've got this huge like backlog of ideas and demos and things. It's all separated by year and whatnot. But there's stuff like in the backlog that we're like, oh hey, maybe
let's
that would,
revive this.
yeah, maybe that would fit over this new thing we have. And that's kind of how Halothane came together too.
That is one thing too. It's like I think for us, we just like always keep writing, and like out of hundreds of songs, like they're not ever going to get released, but it's just our way of like writing whatever we're feeling in that moment. And then we either revive some or we just like never touch it, but we just keep writing. And that's just I think that's just what we do all the time.
It makes us better songwriters too.
Hopefully.
So do you guys kind of have like, not like set in stone, but do you guys kind of have a schedule like in your mind of when you're releasing songs, or do you just kind of drop them?
Oh yeah, we have, we have basically, song-wise, we have basically until mid next year planned out of what songs or when we're releasing what songs and when we need to record new stuff. And like, we also have like a whiteboard full of like songs that are like check marked, and like blue check mark is like, we like it, it needs more work. Green check mark is like, it's there, we're going to take it into the studio and work on it a little bit more, but it's doable. And then red check mark is like, this is if anything else fails, we'll go there.
I think something I had learned too after going to, because we recorded the Blasting Room in Fort Collins with Colton, super cool space, super cool guy. But something we learned going up there is that I guess it's like industry standard to have 6 weeks from like the time you get your master back to release, because you got to pitch to playlists and do marketing and push ads and things.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And so we're kind of trying to like adhere our schedule to what the industry expects, I guess.
And we kind of build our timeline around like when our producers finish too, because that like definitely plays a part. Like when he releases it, it's like, okay, now we can start like planning 6 weeks out and stuff. But we do also plan when we're gonna go in the studio too.
And the music videos.
Yeah, the music video is a whole other, like,
I
there's just
love about the music videos. You guys look like you have so much fun.
we do.
We just recently did another music video, and I was telling these guys we should just tell the venues we're making music videos, because we got a really good deal out of it, and we rented out the whole space, and so we were free reign of the whole thing. And
Oh, that's awesome.
Where's a good teaser picture? Do I
I
have
can
a
don't
just-
tease it.
Don't tease.
Don't tease.
No tease.
Uh,
Okay.
But I was like, we should tell venues that, like, hey, we're shooting a music video, and then we just have free reign of the place. But yeah,
That would work.
That's
Actually,
awesome.
it probably would work.
Well, since you can't show me anything, can you at least tell fans what they can expect in the near future?
Can I say a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. It's definitely got like an upbeat, fun vibe. It's in one of those, I want to say, like, it's
You can
in,
say it.
okay.
Yeah.
It's in one of those inflatable theme parks, like with, yeah, yes.
You
And
know, the trampolines and
yeah, like
arcade.
the trampolines, there's a arcade there. And then there's also an indoor zip line. So let's just say we did all of that.
Lots of footage.
Yeah.
Was
Oh, that was
It's
so
literally
fun.
just like us playing there and having fun.
And I was so sore,
yeah.
all bruised up.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my gosh, that sounds like such a great time.
I'm excited for that one to come out. That one's just definitely like a silly, funny video of just like us having fun. So I think
That one didn't. Usually our, like, what we want to shoot kind of has like a rough, like, timeline of, like, this is what this shot should be, this is what this shot should be, and this one was just get a lot of video, and we're working with our editor and just, like, do what you think looks good.
Yeah.
So
I'm so glad we're on the other side of this one. No?
So for all those like visual like people that are first time listeners of the band, what video and song would you tell people to listen to first?
1, 2, 3. Halothane.
yeah, definitely
Halothane Dreams.
that one slaps. That was so much
I
fun.
think because like
That music video was just fun too.
It was so much
I
fun.
think, yeah, and I think like the mood of like and theme of the music video fits with the song, like just like breaking things and like throwing things and all of that. Yeah.
It was actually so
fits
funny
the-
that shot that
vibe.
Zach got of like him taking the rack tom off and like smashing on the ground. So I went out and I got this like $100 drum kit off of Craigslist like the night before, because I'm like, if we're going to this smash room to smash things,
we're gonna smash
it'd be
everything.
sick to get
Oh
some
wow,
shots.
I was thinking
Smash
that when I was watching it, I was like, I wonder if they're in one of those rage room.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what it was.
Yes.
I love it.
That was great.
Yeah.
Zach's just like, all right, here goes the tom, grabs it off and smacks it
Smashes
on the
the
ground.
drum.
Yeah, we did that shot
Oh,
like
so good.
last.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It felt
Great.
so good.
It was
Good.
Afterwards, I was like, I feel like I actually needed that.
I was also sore again.
It was.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
trend. Is we actually just end up being sore. We actually nothing was broken in that one, so that was good. But like bones and stuff. But
That's true.
It
And we got
was-
hurt.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was good.
It felt good.
Yeah.
Well, my family
Yeah,
has
we
an
had
antique
something
store,
to do
so
with-
like we have a lot of glass and like things get broken. It happens.
Mhm.
And I keep like saying to my parents, I'm like, we gotta keep like all the broken stuff because
Mhm.
like we can take it to the rage room with us.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we made a thrift store run like a
Me
night or
too.
two before. And we just packing the car full of like glasses and vases and lamps and everything that we thought would look good to break
Mhm.
or be fun to break.
Yeah.
So how long, I know it probably varies, but like how long does a typical like video take you to kind of like put together?
I think it usually depends. I think Empty was pretty quick. I think that was like 4 hours. Most of the videos usually just tearing up and putting down in lights. But the Smash Room one I think took 5 or 6. To like the full day was a 5 or 6 hour day. And I think the next song that we're releasing was also 5.
And I'm going
Yeah, I'd say like
Yeah.
average 5 hours to shoot everything.
Yeah.
That's like music video goals. Like you guys are doing like the funnest stuff and filming it for us all to be jealous of.
We get to shoot at fun places
Yeah.
because I pick them on purpose so that way we can have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
It
that's
makes shooting a little bit better when you can go on a zip line.
yeah. I didn't want to leave this last place, but I think it's like the goal for these music videos, at least at our level and things too, is like, hey, let's just do something fun together and like generally fit the vibe of the song, and we'll go send it off,
Yeah.
rather than trying to be like super artistic about it and like have all these like hidden meanings and things. Like I appreciate the bands that do that, and like at a certain level, it's cool to do that. But for where we're at, I think it definitely fits.
What you don't have in the background, capture this. Subliminal messages.
Yeah.
With
All the
signs.
bands are doing it.
It's like the rating on the whatever, what were we on the what's it called?
High divers.
Diving board, yeah. It's like the numbers on the diving board.
Oh my god. I did just imagine you guys like with all the different things, even recording. You guys probably have so much fun recording. Is there any things that were like completely unexpected when walking into the studio that happened to make it onto a track?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think with me,
Did you have something that?
just like my voice.
Oh yeah, your voice.
Leah 2.0.
Yeah, Colton.
They call me 2.0.
Colton did like got something out of her voice that was we've never heard before, and that's actually how Halothane Dreams came about. Was because we went into the studio with Colton to record Empty, and then we got the mix back and heard what it sounded like, and I was like, I think Leah can be this would sound good because I wrote a bit of it, and just for randomness sake and like working on mixing and stuff.
What was it used to be called?
It used to be called Poop Punk.
Poop Punk.
Because it was just another pop punk song, and I just called it Poop Punk. But then after we heard Leah's voice in the studio, we were like, I think might actually be able to pull this off on Halothane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think like to add on to that, I think I like really surprised myself. Like I didn't think I was like capable of singing that pop punk like rock style, because I'm actually like very classically trained, and which is obviously like entirely different than like singing punk music, and I really had to retrain my voice in that way. But I think just working with Colton, like he was like showing me little like tips, like, oh, here's hold this note, or what if you sang this word with like your chin out because it makes this sound, or with this vowel shape. And it was just like things that I never could have ever imagined or thought of that he was able to like pull out. And and so
Plus,
then
he just brings like a good vibe.
He does.
He just like stokes your confidence in the moment. It's
I
like,
think
I
that
can
too.
do this.
Of those kind of people that just think outside the
It is a
box.
confidence thing
Oh,
too.
100%.
Because like I would sing something and he'd be like, oh my God, that's so good. Or like he would always like give me good affirmations, and that's what I'm here for. So
I'm also pretty sure I think he kept it, but I think it's like 1 dB or like 2. Like it's
Oh, it
super
definitely
quiet.
is. It definitely is. Is that in Halothane?
Yeah, the end of Halothane, like right after the last kick note hits, it's like that's what she said.
Yeah.
Just a little tiny.
I
That's
think
what she said.
I think
Yeah.
it's like one. It's definitely in there.
But it's so low.
but
and
it's
so
really
quiet.
low.
that was
So all of our viewers, you got to go on and look for That's What She Said. That's what it says in it.
Yeah, it's at the end of Halothane, and it's at the very, very end, like the last hit when it's fading out. It's
tell them it's in the middle so that they watch the video.
We didn't think that we I don't even know how he captured it. I think
It must have been in like one of
the group
room
chants,
mics or
yeah.
group chants. Somebody said something funny and I said it and he caught it and he's like, that's staying.
Yeah, he's like, we're keeping that. I was like, all right, cool.
I love it. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. That's great. I love those little moments that are like unexpected, but they just add a little bit more. Even if nobody else knows they're there, like you know they're there.
Exactly.
Sometimes I'll say random stuff like that into the talkback. I have a talkback mic on stage, so like only these guys can hear me, and it doesn't go to the audience. And yeah,
Thank God.
I think about that every time. I'm like, tell myself I'm fine. That's what she said.
It's great. He also saves some shows sometimes with it too. So
it does come in handy.
It does come in handy most of the time. Some of the time it's nonsense.
You hear me like moaning in the mic.
Yes, it's just weird.
So what would you say has been your most memorable thing that's happened so far as a band?
That's tough.
I think
opening for Plain White Tees.
Yeah, I think that was gonna be mine too. Like,
that's gotta be mine.
We opened up for Plain White Tees in February, and yeah, I mean, like, it was so like I can't even explain the feeling of it.
What was that like? Tell me everything. Where was it?
So it was at the biggest place that we played at the time, which is the Summit in Denver.
I think it's like 1,100 cap.
I think it's like 1,100 cap. And I think it was almost close to sold out.
Yeah, it was between 900 and 1,000 ticket sales.
Yeah, it was close. And we got the call, and Leah called us screaming.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh my God, guys, the Plain White Tees!" And we're like, we're doing the show. We'd cancel whatever plans we're doing. We're doing the show.
Yeah.
And we were all joking that we were just gonna throw up beforehand because we were just so nervous and so excited that we got to play with them. And it was a really surreal experience.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, we're so used to like playing the hole in the wall venues where like you're at the same floor level as like all the audience members and things, and the Summit you're like floor level is their head.
Yeah,
and you got like
5 feet
up, and like you have the full like audience barriers and everything. And I remember going up there because this is when I still played guitar.
Yeah.
I remember going up there to like tune my stuff and check like everything was set like 5 minutes before our set time. And like you could hear all the audience, like just the low murmur of all the audience, like in my ears. And I was like, oh boy, this is going to be like, this is a whole nother level, man.
I always say I'd be so nervous playing a floor show. Like people can grab you. Like it's hard enough, like dealing with the lights in front of you, like to have to deal with lights and people like having access to you like that. I mean, I don't know. That would make me nervous.
There's a meme that we've been sending around that's like when the mosh pit joins the drums. It's just like a guy just like getting tossed into the drums. It's like, oh yeah, let's not have that happen.
Well, but to be fair, I think one of my other favorite shows was when we played. I think there's a venue called 25 or 7 Circle.
Well, this was pre me and Zach.
Yeah, and it's in an old repair garage for like one car garage, and it is tiny. And we usually use like our in-ear system and stuff, and we're like, well, we're not bringing it this time, we're just gonna rip it. And it was wild. People were crazy, and like I didn't even like I usually sing backup vocals and stuff, and I didn't even have a mic. Leah didn't have a mic stand, and it was super cramped, but everyone was just vibing.
It was just cool because it was so stripped down.
Yeah.
You know, like it was just fun to like not care about whatever.
It was on the punk side of the pop punk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who are some people that you would like to play with in the future?
All Time Low.
Mayday Parade.
we had a joke. All Time Low was coming through Denver, and they were playing at Red Rocks. And some Red Rocks shows, not all of them, have like local openers on them. And I was telling them, I was like, if we can get on a Red Rocks show with All Time Low, I'm okay if I die tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like, this is it.
Like it would just
send me off.
This is the peak. This is just
can't get any higher.
Yeah.
I think for me it would be Taylor Acorn. I've just been listening to her a lot lately, and she just put out a new album, and I'm so obsessed.
It's so
and
good.
I just like really look up to her for her songwriting and her vibe and just yeah, everything. Like she's just amazing.
I feel you on your musical taste. I love Psycho. Psycho, and
Oh yeah.
Yes.
she did that Backfired with 408.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
Great song.
she also released a collab with Charlotte Sands.
Oh yeah.
I forgot what the song's
No
called.
way. I did not hear that yet.
Look it up. Just
You
type in
know what
Taylor
it's called?
Acorn.
We can find it quick. And yeah, I can't
Yeah,
think of it
let's see.
offhand.
Okay. I can look it up.
Dumps.
Oh,
Oh.
Is it Don't
She
Feel
also
Bad?
she cut another
Final Nail.
Final Nail.
It's
Final
called Final Nail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think she teased that when we were in the studio, and you were freaking out.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
We were recording, and Lee was like, "Oh my god!" Like, what happened? But yeah.
I love that someone else like that I'm talking to is like as like into Charlotte Sands, because honestly, like I bring her up like at least a couple times a month, and
Yeah.
I'm like, this. She's like, even her pictures are cool.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm pretty
I
sure
love-
she just won a songwriting Grammy too.
Did she?
Really?
Yeah, I forget who
Shit.
she wrote for. Or she's nominated. I think she's nominated for it.
Is it
Really?
Love You a Little?
No, it's
I'm just looking at the top.
oh I know.
Bad Day or Dress, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
know
think it's
those
one of
are
her songs. I
songs.
think she wrote for a different artist.
Yeah. But I love her whole vibe too, with like the blue hair
Yeah.
and her stage performance.
We
Like,
actually-
the whole look, everything.
We took her that Blue album. We took that inspiration for our next EP album. And just like it's like random photos, and then at the end it's kind of like all comes together.
As like one
Yeah.
album art. Yeah.
Now, as far as touring, do you guys mainly stay in Colorado, or do you guys tour all over the place? When will you come to PA?
We did one, and we were crazy at the time, but it was a blast. We did one trip out to California to play Chain Reaction, because Leah's from California, so we were able to stay at like her parents' place. But it was a 24-hour drive straight.
It's a lot of
And
driving.
we played at Chain Reaction and then left the next day. That was technically the longest trip band show.
Props to you that you guys still like each other after 24 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was we lived with each other. It was great. It was so fun.
And then recently was like around New Mexico and then Lincoln, Nebraska, was it Fort Collins?
Yeah.
I don't
Colorado
know,
Springs.
Colorado Springs, but
Springs.
it's tough
Yeah.
because
It's so
like
far
in
away.
Denver, everything is so far. So you've got like that Albuquerque to like maybe you could include Lincoln and Omaha in that bracket. And Salt Lake's like 8 hours to the west. But outside of that, it's like it's a
Heard
whole
Salt Lake has a wild music scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Mhm.
Salt Lake. That would be good to go
Yeah,
to.
we
I
gotta
know
get out there.
next year we're like, well, this year we're planning for a tour for next year. I think for now we're like trying to still like branch out a little bit. So like still stay within like New Mexico and like Nebraska. But I know eventually like we want to get to like the East Coast and like maybe the West Coast. Like we definitely want to make it bigger for sure.
We definitely have like connections on the East Coast, the Midwest, where we're friends with some, bands that are maybe a little bit bigger, same level as us, and we're trying to set up like show swaps and things with them to make it like, we can extend your market here, and then they'll extend our market there, kind of
It's
thing.
like a trade.
Yeah, a little trade.
Yeah.
But yeah, just figuring out like what makes sense as far as like to maximize that.
It's mostly logistics.
Just because we're so far from it.
How to get it.
When you find out when you're coming over, let me know, and we'll hit up Nick from 717 Entertainment, get you over to Love Drafts because that's an awesome venue.
That'd be amazing.
Go.
Let's do
That
it.
way.
Yes, it's very that like the stage is huge, and I love this is gonna sound weird, but I love that vibe of like 90s, like even 80s, like punk rock bathrooms. Like they have stickers. They have all the bands that have played. They have
Yes.
stickers just all over
Oh,
Yep.
the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's
That's
just
the other fun game here is like, oh, new venue we haven't been to. Can we? How good of a sticker spot can we get in that bathroom?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I found like our friends' bands like stickers in the urinal before, and I'm like, how does that stay there?
we just were talking about that. That
Prop.
takes like real determination. Like
Yeah.
some of them are very, very strategic. Like, do people carry around gloves? Like, do you know that you're going to be sticking your hand into the urinal? And they must be really quality stickers
Oh
because
yeah.
Yeah. I don't
they're
have
lasting. I mean, I went to Love Drafts and there was one in the toilet. Like,
Nice.
Nice.
when I went there a year prior, and I'm like, wow, like,
How did this stay?
Where did you get
yeah,
this
like,
sticker?
Is there
Where can I buy
golden?
this sticker?
I know
Oh,
car
really?
decals that don't last like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
I know.
Yeah, it was a trooper.
It's crazy.
So, what venue are you looking to play around you?
What is Lost Lake the next one?
Mhm.
Lost Lake,
No, Black Buzzard is the
Black-
headliner.
Black Buzzard. Well, Lost Lake is Edith.
Oh no, Globe Hall.
Globe Hall. Okay,
Globe Hall's next.
Globe Hall's next. Which is just like I don't know what the cap on Globe Hall is.
It's 300 or 400 maybe.
Yeah,
It's not
Mhm.
crazy. It's like mid size.
yeah.
Mhm.
Globe Hall's nice.
Now, are you looking more to play like venues, or are you looking more to play festivals in the future?
We just recently, I don't know if it's a festival, but we just recently finished playing Aurora Borealis, which was just a massive like Borealis festival.
Yeah, they had like laser light shows and stuff. Like they had lasers on like scissor lifts and like fog
was
machines
sick.
or hazers everywhere, and they kind of like tried to make it look like the Northern Lights, which was
Mhm.
That was
sick.
real cool.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I
that's-
definitely think we're gonna hit the festival circuit like a little harder next summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've played like 4 to 5 festivals
Mhm.
this year, which is the best we've done. And then, yeah, I think to Alex's point, like we're definitely going to keep playing. I think more festivals,
Mhm.
if
Yeah.
definitely more than this year is what we're trying to do. And I think our other focus is like just trying to get on the bill with like some touring bands that come through
Mhm.
to like really paying attention to like, okay, who's lined up, like, and reaching out to our contacts to see if we can try to get on some of those
Yeah,
shows.
like being more deliberate about it. And then also like we're kind of planning a headline show for April next year. And it'll be the first time we've done a headline show in Denver since we basically
Yeah.
had all of the new
First
members.
time,
And so I
yeah.
think that's a really good gauge of like how well we're doing in the market.
Yeah.
My
So yeah,
dog's
looking forward to testing the waters with that. Oh, who's that?
Aw.
my dog. This is my dog 6.
Hi, bud.
So cute.
So, what would you say was your earliest musical memory?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Mine's embarrassing.
Say it. Say it.
So I used to play. So I have a good one that's like I used to. The reason I'm like the music. The reason my parents knew that I was going to be a musician was my grandparents got me this kind of like spinning musical bird clock thing. And I would be crying, and whenever they put it on, I'd like not cry and stuff. But my early my earliest like music, actually playing music thing, I was in a band in high school, and the school asked us to play lunchtime, which is in a cafeteria, which a cafeteria's acoustics are not good. And that day that we played, I think there was maybe 50 people inside the cafeteria, and the grass and outside area was filled with people.
There's got to be a video.
And there's probably, but
Come on, you
it was
gotta
not good, and it was bad. And the teacher, I was in math class after lunch, and the teacher was like, "Oh, hey, how was everyone's lunch? Was it good?" And there's a girl in front of me, and she was like, "It sucked. Some band was playing the whole time." And the whole room looked at her and like looked behind me, and I was just had my hand in my hand like, "Oh no."
Oh my God, that would be so great if you made a TikTok where it's you like playing in the cafeteria and then you like post like right before the food fight.
Oh, it was
or do like a side by side where it's like a clip of that in the cafeteria, and then it's like you getting on the stage to like play in front of plain white tees.
Then and now.
Yeah.
Like then versus now.
It was not good. I still wake up in sweats thinking about that.
Mine was like, so I was 16, and when I was around 15, I used to like play at this venue called Queen Bee's in San Diego, and it was kind of a hole in the wall, but I loved it. And for my 16th birthday, my parents rented out the entire venue, and I got to play on stage with my band in front of all my friends who came to see me for my birthday. It was so sweet.
Awesome.
I know. And then afterwards, like we all had pizza and cake, but like it was like the most badass party because it was like, okay, you're coming here to like see me play with my band and like sing Guns N' Roses songs and like freaking.
We have yet to hear that track from the other interview.
Oh yeah. Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, like rock hits, and then like get to talk to my friends after, and it was just like a cool, like memorable thing that I did as a kid. But yeah.
I know we've teased it before because we were planning on doing something fun for Halloween, but I know like there's a home video of me out there somewhere on this like plastic little drum kit when I was like maybe 4. And it's just like blasting Hex Girls from Scooby-Doo like over the speakers in my living room, and I just like got the spiked hair all up, and I'm just like going ham. I'm like, oh, it's meant to be.
I love it.
Aww.
Our friends in Lesbian Bed Death, they just did a cover of Hex Girls.
Nice.
Like, it's kind of like a heavy version of it, but yeah, I love it. I love when anyone like does one of those songs that like you said brings back the nostalgia of a time that was just good.
It was great.
Yeah, totally.
I love this whole like scene coming back.
Same.
Like I feel like for a little bit everybody was resting.
Yeah.
Getting their shit together, and now that like they had that time, they're like, let's do this, and we're going hard.
We're gonna do it harder than the first time.
Yeah, it's like such a resurgence. Like I love it, and I think it's like bigger. I feel like it's almost bigger now than it was before, in a way.
Do you guys think like, pop punk is ever gonna make it back mainstream?
Oh yeah,
maybe.
Think so?
Oh yeah.
I could see it trending there with everything coming back around, nostalgia and things. And the way the scene is going, it could.
Yeah.
I know I'm like my friend has Sirius, so I'm constantly like listening to it in their car, and I always lean towards the like Pop 2K and like it, and it's all kind of that vibe going on.
Yeah, same.
Same.
With like a little bit, it'll be like a little bit of rock or a little bit of like punk. Yeah.
I just saw the other day, it says you don't just have to go for like a 3-hour car ride to a concert. Like you get a live concert on the way to the concert. Like that's me in the car on the way to like go see So
Oh, yeah.
Dude, every time I have like guests in my car, like just a friend, I like have to double check that my volume's not like maxed out on my speakers because I've scared a lot of friends
Yeah.
before by
Yeah.
accident.
My car turns into karaoke.
It's
I blast that shit.
we're just like screaming.
So what would you say is what's your karaoke song?
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Uh,
Let me guess, all time low.
no,
Hey!
actually, anything by Simple Plan.
Yes.
Simple
I
Plan?
mostly because like all of it's in my vocal range. All time low is a little high, but basically anything from Simple Plan is my go-to karaoke.
So you're
song.
jamming out to Perfect?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Man, I don't know. Like I'll sing along to anything.
Really?
But like I mean like all the big hits, like Mr. Brightside comes on, I'm just gone.
Yeah, that's
Like
classic.
the classics, I'm
classic,
just gone. But
yeah.
I'll sing
I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'll sing to everything.
Mine's like kind of out of left field,
Yours
but
like pop or
it's-
country.
it's pop. I'd say Demi Lovato.
Nice.
Yes. What song?
Yes. Um,
What your go-to is your
I like Sorry Not Sorry.
oh yeah.
Like, tell me I'm sorry. Yeah. That one, like, it's just so good. Like,
she'll
she's
warm
just
up with
like-
that stuff, and like all of us will sit, like because we can't do anything, so all of us will sit there and just like.
Let's go, bring it on.
But we'll all make sure we're really like not clapping at the same time.
Oh my god, that's great. Can we get some videos of you guys like jamming out as she's warming up? I'd
Oh
love
yeah,
to-
Yes.
it's basically just our sound checks. They
Yeah.
yeah.
Andrew shaking his little booty.
Yeah, you got to give the sound guy a little bit of the show.
So what would you say is the best advice that you've received so far?
Oh boy,
That's a good question.
Yeah, that is.
Okay, I know this is gonna sound cliche, but so many people try to like follow industry trends, like especially with social media, like, oh, just copy all of these things that what works or what's proven or whatever. But you can only get so far, right? And I think the same goes for music and your music style. You just have to lean into you and be you and do your thing. And that will come through as authentic. You guys are going to be enjoying it, enjoying the ride, having a good time. And that will also come through to your audience. And so I say, yeah, the biggest piece of advice that I've heard is just be you and own your thing.
yeah.
So how do you personally find that balance with the way that people want to like, because I feel like with punk pop, it kind of like most people relate it to like Avril.
Yeah.
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 So
Or
how do you
Paramore. Like,
keep your signature sound and kind of balance it with the like known?
Yeah.
I think it mostly comes down to just how we write differently. And I think because like because we all have our like equal inputs on all the songs, I think it's mostly all of our individual kind of styles make it branch off from, like, oh, this is just like an Avril Lavigne song or Paramore song. Of course, it will like kind of like sometimes lean into that, where it's like, oh yeah, I could see like Avril like singing this or Paramore playing this or whatever.
Right.
But I think just like how all of our influence pulls us in separate ways when we create the song.
Right. And plus, there's only one Leah and only one Leah's voice, and that's different.
Yeah, that's the
the signature. But also, like, I like to equate this since I'm drummer. Like, if you bring in like 5 drummers and you tell them, hey, this is our track, learn the track, play it, you're gonna get 5 different renditions, even if they're playing the same notes, because their drums are tuned different, they're hitting at different velocities, their timing slightly different. They might do a little lick or different fill here. And when you add that up, all those little stylistic things across everybody in the band, I think you get like just a generally unique sound that is hard to reproduce or like pinpoint on other folks.
Yeah.
Definitely. So what's the best advice that you guys have heard?
I this is probably also going to be cliche, but that's okay. I'd probably say just trust the process, I guess. I know we've gone into the studio a bunch and we're just like, I don't know if this song is going to come out the way that we want it to. And just because the demos that we make are, of course, just like what we write here in my house. And it's just, okay, this is like, I kind of have a vision of what it's going to be, but it's obviously like not there. And you just kind of have to trust that it will get there. And of course, with, Blasting Room and Colton, it always gets there. So it's just, I trust the process that like this demo is going to be what you kind of envisioned, so.
I think for mine, I've had like multiple people say it in different ways, but just like don't over practice like your set, like for a stage. And I like 1,000% agree with that because I think like, yes, it's good to like practice, before you hit the stage, but you don't want to like overdo it because I've done that before and then I just sound like super robotic and corporate and weird. And like, and I feel like my best balance is like obviously knowing what the songs are and knowing how much breaks I have in between, but like not overdoing it to where I have to like know every sentence that I'm saying. Cause like some of my best shows, honestly, and like, or I guess like best stage performance has been from like not really practicing what I'm going to say. It's just like whatever I'm feeling in that moment, like whatever feels good and like natural, like it just comes out and yeah.
I'm glad you said that because that was something when I first started the show. Like, I was so worried about it, everything being perfect and like worded right and everything that people were like, can you just do like natural or live and like just like get out of that? And I almost had to train myself like not to care and like to be okay with making mistakes. And if I make a mistake, I just kind of like have to own it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just roll with it. I think that like kind of humanizes the band on stage too.
Yeah.
Like,
it does.
like I mean, we like improv Sugar the other day.
Sugar
Like
was
just
going down.
like we just were like, you guys want to do like an improv song? And the crowd is just going like nuts. And we're like, all right, screw it. All right, what are the chords? Let's learn it quick.
Yeah. But like talking in between songs, I guess that's what I mean, where it's just like I just have learned to not really think about what I'm gonna say. It's just whatever is in that moment, and that's usually when it's the best.
Yeah.
I'm just playing
like
on whatever. It's total improv. It's kind of like stand-up comedy, honestly. Like, like
totally.
because like it also depends like on the crowd too, like how they're vibing, or like maybe you point out something that they're wearing and like talk about that. Like it's just like always a surprise and you never know, but that's like the best part of it.
That's why
I have a really serious question for you guys.
Okay.
Do you guys have any routines or rituals for pre-show?
Get nervous and throw up.
No, it's not.
I the only thing that I do is jump.
I think we like together, we all like hug each other. We do like a little group circle and we're like, we got this. Like we just like pump each other up and like hype each other up, but we always like go in a circle and we'll either hug or like we'll all put our hands in and be like, all right, team, let's go.
Yeah, I think it's important to connect.
Yeah.
Right before the show, like everyone gets their head on straight and like, all right, we're all here. Let's do this. And like, because then like it changes your mindset. Because I'm a very introverted person and don't really like.
Okay, now and you have to give me a little more details on the jump. Like, do you do the same jump every time? Do you do a jump where you like land flat-footed?
It's the same. It's the same jump
like, up in the air, like hands like Rocky.
It's just like I'll just like have my guitar and I'll just like be jumping up and down and like kind of like shaking my hands out and like I don't know. It's just like pre-show like jitters.
You're like capture this.
Yeah, I'll just shake my hands and jump and like just kind of like get in the zone. I don't know why.
It's just gonna show.
No, I doubt.
Oh, where's it? Oh yeah, where's the play button? Oh, jump.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that was smooth. That was like a jump and walking. Like
it was very grounded. Like
that was professional.
That's the only one I have.
You didn't even skip a beat. Like it was jump, keep walking.
Yeah, what?
That's because I film a lot of the content for like the socials, and I'm just like always trying to film stuff, and I'm like, hey, give me a jump.
We should actually, this is a really good real idea, is just like a compilation of like Andrew's jumps. Like at every different show.
I have a lot of his
I do
butt
the-
shakes too.
Yeah, I do all jumps and everything.
Oh, you gotta have House of Pain. House of Pain jump in the background as he's jumping each time.
I think also our so like all of our set, we have like different time sets, like 30 minutes, 45 hour. They're all like pre-recorded to click and backing tracks and things.
Mhm.
And before every kind of like set comes in, we've got like a hype song at the beginning that only we can hear. And so that, I would say that's probably part of our pre-show ritual too.
Yeah.
We'll occasionally change it.
Yeah.
But right now it's Lost in Stereo by All Time Low live. The live version. And it goes so hard. So it's like, okay, we can do this. We're going to bring this energy. Break.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely gonna have to like send some clips to All Time Low because you've given them major shout outs. Like, do you know where they're playing next? Like, can we give them a shout out at their next show?
Yeah, I actually don't know where they're playing next.
You call yourself a fan.
I don't know if they're on tour right now. I think they're just hanging out.
You don't have the schedule memorized?
Come on.
No.
They are playing When We Were Young.
Yeah.
Next year. I know that.
Oh, I'm just loving all of the We Are Young and even the Danny Wimmer festivals. Like I love that all these festivals are coming back.
Oh yeah.
I just wish it kind of sucks because like We Are Young, it's only in like Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I wish it was in more places.
Yeah.
But
well, that's what I was hoping for the Warped Tour. I was hoping it would be like old school, where it's like, okay, 5 or 6, but I think it's only 3. So.
Yeah, I think it's the Warped Tour. Because what year is it the anniversary?
20th.
Is it 20th?
20th.
I think 20th.
So they're like, it's like 3 different places.
I think it's tough because, like, I know, like you set up Female Fronted Fest last year.
Yeah.
And like that was a one-off festival that Capture This kind of hosted. And that was a crazy undertaking. And like to do that across like 3 months of towns and then to try to make like viable sense money wise to a company or to whoever's going to run this tour. Like I can get how that's difficult.
Yeah.
And I know like so much is more expensive nowadays, and all the bands that people love to see growing up have a big following now, and they're more expensive to book and things. So like maybe something will come up in the next couple of years that's like $20 ticket. We're doing this across the U.S., but it's like bands at our level.
Yeah, no one over like 100,000.
Yeah,
streams
something small. I could see that maybe coming back, and they'll do like 1 or 2 headliners every night that are bigger. But
yeah,
I know a good way to get into some of them is to do some of the like battle of the bands like on the higher levels.
Yeah.
Because you can almost like win a spot.
Oh yeah.
I remember that actually was at Warped Tour.
Yeah, I do remember that. Some of my old
you could
bands
like
did
play
that.
at one of the stages there and stuff. That was the dream.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bring that energy. Bring that energy.
No, it's gotta come back.
Maybe we'll get South by Southwest.
So when you're not performing, what are some other things that you guys like to do?
Oh, that's a wide range.
So for me, yeah, I would say like I think it depends on the weather too. It's different all seasons, but I would probably say like when it's like nice out, like hot, sunny, like I do like hiking and stuff. I like trying new coffee places.
Nice.
I'm a big coffee person. And I actually ice skated yesterday for like the first time in like a couple years, and it made me realize how much I miss it. So maybe I'll get back into that.
Oh, we're putting that on a reel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those spinnies were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did competitive ice skating when I was like all throughout middle school and high school. So I haven't gone in a while. And
So
up
impressive.
yeah, and so like now that I did that, I was like, oh, I like miss this. Like maybe
So
I
good.
should go back into it. So, anyways, that's my future thing to
That
do.
is so impressive. I just think of like cutting edge back in the day.
Yes.
Spinning. Man, I can't even roller skate. Like I bought roller skates. I bought these really cute like Dolls Kill black roller skates that light up, and my son's like, "Oh, I have like a friend's birthday party at a roller skating ring," and I'm like, "Let's go!" Like I've got these
Oh,
I'm
that's
in.
amazing.
already, man. I hadn't done it in years, and it was not working. And my son, he didn't even want to do it. He's like, "This wasn't what I expected. I'm just gonna go against the wall." And I'm like, "Yeah, we really don't look cool, like literally inching like down the wall, but it happens." The skates were like, I think they're a little more pro than I am. So I probably should have got starter skates
Like harder
before I
to ride.
went
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
like the flashy ones. Oh, well, you live and you learn.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very true.
So, how do you guys deal with creative differences in the band and also with like creative blocks?
Well, creative differences, I just tell them they're wrong.
No, that's not.
You're nicer about it.
It's usually like it's like a give and take. It's like, okay, we'll be doing like a song, and it'll be like, I like this section, and Alex or Lee or Zach will be like, I like this section, and then I'll be like, I'm okay taking this section or changing this section, but I will push back on like taking this section out or whatever.
It's like knowing when to kind of
when to fight for it.
When to fight for it,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, picking your battles.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
for
really
sure.
is.
It all
Yeah.
ends with Colton though.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is like if Colton doesn't like it and Colton's like, I don't know if this fits, then it'll be like, okay. But then we'll also like push back against Colton sometimes where it's like, no, we should have this in.
Yeah.
But it's mostly just a give and take of I'm willing to like die on this hill where this needs to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that has gone to that point.
Which is actually interesting though
Yeah.
too, because like there's some stylistic things where I'm like, I just don't get it, but like Andrew really, really wants this.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Like 3 months later and it's out, and I'm like,
get
oh,
it.
I get it now. Like that, okay,
Yeah.
sweet. It just took me a minute.
Yeah.
Um,
To get
that's
there.
yeah.
I think block wise, I don't know. I don't know.
I think
I don't
like,
know how we get past it.
yeah, like sometimes for me it's just like you try so
think you just
hard
force
sometimes,
it.
and well, it's tough because you hear like all those professionals and some people saying like, oh, you just need to sit down and like just duke it out.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, oh, I'll go through these periods of like inspiration, and I'll duke out like 20 ideas, and it just flows very natural. And it's like, okay, the times where that's like a block, I'll just like I'll go to a couple shows, or I'll go to like, you know, take a break or something. But like going to those shows or playing a big show, it brings the stoke and like the inspiration back, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
So that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it'll be like for the new song that we have, I was listening to a bunch of the new Sum 41 stuff. And you just kind of draw inspiration from that and just, different music that like new stuff that's coming out. And then just kind of make it closer to what you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been noticing a lot with the covers too that bands are choosing, that they're going with not the one that was overplayed on the radio. They're going with that one that was on the CD that everybody knew, but necessarily wasn't overplayed, which I kind of have been digging that because that's been like a recent thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we didn't do that when we redid Fireflies by Owl City. But I think Leah was talking about. We're not going to do it, but Leah
Famous
was
last words.
Yeah, Leah famous last words. Leah was talking about doing Ali and AJ.
Oh,
That could work.
Yeah, what song is that? Breakup. This isn't a breakup song, or this is a breakup song.
it's
Yes.
like you get
Never said back.
now we just forget. Like I feel like that's
Yes,
one
we
of
need that. We need
yes,
that.
don't we? I feel like we so
Yes, we really need that.
yes, but I totally agree with you where it's like I think people want to hear a song that is not super overplayed, but they know it.
Yeah.
And then when you put a twist on that,
Mhm.
it's even
Make it
better.
your own. I mean,
Yeah.
we've gotten so many comments at the merch booth about like, oh, you guys would be so good at like pop punkifying a straight pop song,
Yeah.
and like bringing back that like pop goes punk vibe. So maybe.
I love
I
those.
feel like you guys put a spin on everything that you do, that you make it fun. So that right there just makes people want to keep watching. It makes them want to see what you're going to do next.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Heck yeah.
Which is funny because for Halothane, we had a blast filming that, and it looks like we're having fun, which we did, and the song sounds really fun, and the lyrics are not fun, and they're super depressing, and it's the reason that we wanted to do it is kind of the dichotomy of the sadness of the lyrics versus like just the slap in the face happiness of and like power of the instrumentals. So yeah, that was
And for
fun.
anybody that doesn't know what halothane is, or halothane, it is like an anesthesia. Like, it can put you to sleep. I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'Cause I've
everybody
never
has to
heard
do
that
that.
word before.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Leah was writing the lyrics, and she looked up like, drugs.
Yeah, so when I was writing, yeah, I looked up like I specifically searched drugs that make you sleep cuz like the song is about depression and like really getting yourself to that lowest point in the hole, and so yeah, like I was trying to find a word of what of like a drug that would make you go to sleep, and halothane was like the first word that came up. And so I thought yeah, creatively, that was really cool to put that in the song because I thought like to like, oh, that's not a word that people know of. And so it would make them like search for it and stuff and then be able to connect the dots of like, okay, that makes sense because it's like a drug that puts you to sleep.
I love that whole vibe of that song because your lyrics are like, I'm with you, I support you. And then the song is like, this is here to make you feel better. Like, this is the antidote. This is to
Yeah.
help you get through it.
And
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
Like, we all have songs that have helped us get through things. And your songs are those kind of songs that someone can listen to it and it can help them through what they're dealing with.
Yeah. I try to write songs about that all or like not I guess for me first, like because I always write the best when I'm like sitting with how I'm feeling in that moment. And every time I'm writing, I think about that. Like I hope after we release this that people are gonna relate to it or it's gonna touch them in some way.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely cathartic writing. Like, there's
Yeah.
times where you're like, oh, I'm feeling this way, and like, what's gonna make me feel better? Well, I can't think of anything else except sitting down at like the piano or sitting down with your guitar. And it's like that's the only thing I can like do right now to make myself feel better.
Mhm.
So to have that translate to other folks is like
I think
it's a magical thing.
I think also as a singer, it's like one of the most healing parts about it of like songwriting is like getting to sing it with the crowd. Like
Mhm.
just watching the crowd sing the words as you're singing it, I think for me is like
It's cool.
It's cool, but it's
sick.
like healing too, because you know that in some way, like someone had to, like, in order for someone to like learn the lyrics, they had to like listen to it a lot. And
Mhm.
so to be able to listen to a lot, it means like it probably connected with them or touched them in some way. And so I think that's just what I think about, like, when I hear or see someone,
Mhm.
like, sing the lyrics is like, wow, you really listened to that song and it probably, like, touched you or you connected with it at, like, some point in time.
Yeah. Like I appreciate all those like those professional acts coming through and they're like, whatever you have going on, like outside the doors, that's there. We are in this
Like
room
here
together.
tonight.
We are here tonight in this room for one reason. We are all connected in this little community tonight. So let's feel we gotta feel. Let's do it. We're all here for the same thing, you know? And that's awesome.
So I have a couple more questions because I don't want to keep you on all night, even though this is so fun. What has been the best or the most impactful, like, fan reaction or fan encounter?
For me, the best one was we were playing a festival called Big Gig that 93.3, a local radio station here, puts on. Um, and we were playing, and uh, uh, this little girl comes up to us and she's like, "Oh, can I get you guys an autograph?" And we're like, "Yeah, like we can sign anything you want." And she holds up this like extra large T-shirt of ours that is like doesn't fit at all. Um, and she was like, "Can you guys sign this?" And so like Leah was like, "Hey, everyone, come over here. Like we need to sign this." And we like all signed it, and like she held it up, and like we all took a photo. I think that for me was like the coolest,
Yeah.
because I think that was also our first time someone even asked for our autograph. So it was a mix between that and just it was just really cool.
Yeah. I think mine was actually you go first and then
I was trying to think. I don't know if I have one in particular, but I do think that it's cool to like meet folks at a show and like have them buy merch and whatnot, and then you start seeing them again, and you start seeing these same faces, and it kind of builds this like this little friendship with the fans. And that's just really neat to see. It's like the community that we have is growing and building.
That's cool.
And that feels just super crazy.
Yeah. I think for me, like, I don't have a specific moment, but there's been times, especially recently, when like people came up and said, "Yeah, I literally came to your show because I heard like Empty, and watched Empty like the music video on YouTube." And I think that's like such a surreal moment for me because like we just like happened to make it through the algorithm of like what you were searching on YouTube, and like we literally, like, now you're standing right here like buying merch and like just saw us play. Like it's just such a cool moment. So yeah, to Alex's point, like I think like that's just been happening a lot and that's been so awesome to see.
Yeah.
Cool. So, as far as updates on the band, where you guys are playing, as far as like when you have new music drops, merch, where do the fans go? Like everybody's
So
got a platform that they like more than others. Come on.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Will that work?
Is that gonna work? Oh, where's the focus?
You're gonna mess up the focus.
I know it's gonna mess it up.
So we have Pixab QR codes, but you can
Take a picture and send it to me so I can put it up with the post.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
We'll do that. So you can find like any of like basically any of our shows and what we're up to on Instagram. I'd say that's like the main platform, but you can also go to bandcapturethis.com. And then for music, we're pretty much like everywhere. So if you look on Spotify, Apple
You've
Music,
got them all running at the bottom of the screen.
yes, all the platforms, like pretty much anywhere you can listen to music.
You should be there.
And then merch, You can also go to bandcapturethis.com. We have a merch section, so that's probably the easiest way.
Or come to our show.
Or come to our show as well too. But either of those ways work for merch and stuff. And then what will be in the next couple like months, we're gonna be releasing a couple more songs that we have. We just finished recording them, which is super exciting. So we're gonna release those soon. And planning out our tour. We're trying to get it somewhere like in the spring and stuff, that show in April too, to kick things off. So we have that. And
I'm not sure it's gonna air in time, but on the 12th, so 2 days from now, we're playing at Vultures in Colorado Springs, supporting Rose Color World and Not My Weekend. Years Down will also be there supporting the local scene. And then December 15th, we'll be playing a EP release show with Edith.
Yeah.
Another local band. I forget who else is on.
Flowerhead.
Oh yeah, Flowerhead and Pilljoy are also.
And where's that one at? Because we have friends all over the place.
That's at Globe Hall, also in Denver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was very awesome having you guys on, and I love it, and I can't wait to hear what you have to come out. And by any chance, can you give us at all, like, do you have any kind of like idea of when a new song will be out?
I want to say early January, somewhere around there.
We'll have the song about early January.
Yeah, they'll be coming out pretty fast.
Early next year, expect a
lot of
fairly fast release.
A lot of new stuff.
Just hang on for like a couple more months, and you're gonna get a wave of songs.
Yeah.
And if you're ever interested, we do song releases. So if down the line you want some extra promotion with the song, we got you.
That'd be awesome.
Definitely kick them your way. Thank you.
But thank you so much for taking the time to come on, and we will definitely have to catch up with you in the future. I wish you all the luck, and I will make sure that you get everything when this airs. And again, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks
you so much.
Thanks for
having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They're so fun. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And I'm Allie. Jesse will be here next week. Everyone, have a great night.